Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to JAHAN-E, your own channel. JAHAN-E's new initiative, Leader Speaks. We are once again with you with its 4th episode. And today we have a dynamic personality, a great leader, Dr. Ahmad Sahab, who is the Director, Education Paradigm Pioneer Group, Gulf and India. Dr. Ahmad Sahab is a passionate educationist and a social worker. Now, Dr. Ahmad Sahab has a vision of imparting quality education in his village, Asara, and he has started working on his mission. That's really remarkable. I welcome Dr. Ahmad Sahab to the show. Assalamu alaikum, Anis Sahab.
Wa alaikum assalam, and thank you.
Welcome to JAHAN-E.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Dr. Ahmad Sahab, briefly, please let us know about you, about your family background, about your childhood, so that whatever we are going to converse in future, that will have some background.
Dr. Haleema, I come from a very humble background of a family of a farmer, from a village in district Bagpat of Uttar Pradesh. And, I spent my childhood in the village and then came to Delhi at the age of 6 and started my education, with the corporation school, where there used to be no furniture. We used to sit on mats, and it was in Urdu medium. And then up to 8th class, it was Urdu medium, and then 9th, 10th, and 11th, it was in Hindi medium. And then went to Aligarh Muslim University for my graduation and for teachers training. And after that, directly from the university, after my graduation and B.Ed, I joined Sainik School, Chittorgarh, under the Ministry of Defense as TGT English. Then after 7 years, I left Sainik School and came to Delhi administration and joined a model school. There used to be 4 or 5 model schools in Delhi. One of them was government model school, Ludlow Castle number 2. So I joined them and I worked there for about 9 years, and then again left the government job and joined the Hamdard Public School as Vice Principal Administration under the leadership of Sayyid Hamid Sahab. Was there for 2 years and then came to Dubai in 2000 and joined NIMS group. There is a group, New Indian Model School group. They had 7 or 8 schools in UAE. I joined them as an education officer. Was there for 1 year and then came to Kuwait as founder principal of India International School. And, established that school, was with them for 10 years, and then, joined the Paradigm Pioneers Group as the founder director and the founder principal of Salmia Indian Model School. So I'm here still with them.
Wonderful.
With the Salmia Indian Model School.
Wonderful journey. Started from Asara, that's a very, very remote village, and then coming to Delhi and then having a job of an English teacher, then moving to Dubai and then Kuwait and still working over there as a director. It's remarkable. Thank you very much, Dr. Anisa, for sharing such a motivational story of your life. So Dr. Anisa Sahab, you have more than 4 decades of leadership experience. And in our own life, we always have some role model or some leader in the mind whom we intentionally or unintentionally follow and copy them. Who is your role model? Who is your favorite leader?
You rightly said that I'm really going to complete 40 years. To be precise, on 1st of August 22, I will be completing 40 years into education.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, we, do idealize, some role models for us. As far as, social, political, religious, there are so many leaders, that I admire. But in the field of education, I still feel that my role model was my first principal when I joined Sainik School, Chittorgarh. The principal at that time was Colonel C.V.K.S. Rao. He was from the Indian Army, and he was a colonel. Still, I feel he is my role model as principal, as leader in the field of education, because, I saw him, leading by example. That is what I saw him. There used to be around 550 students in the school. It was a boarding school for boys. And, he literally remembered the name of each and every child of the school, each and every teacher. Teacher is fine. There are 30, 35 teachers in the school, but 550 students, starting from grade 6 to grade 12. He knew the name of each and every child. And he would lead us by example by, if he tells us that everybody has to be at 4 o'clock at the sports ground, he would be there by 3:45. So he was such a great leader, and he would take the initiative. First he would do himself. So I think that is why till today I follow him, and I try to follow what he used to do as a leader, as an educational leader.
That's really remarkable. If you want to be an effective leader, naturally you have to set an example first, and then only the followers are going to follow you. Really, he was a great leader. Even I can follow him, and I can make him my inspiration for my life. So Dr. Anis Ahmad Sahab, in your leadership role, you must have faced lots of challenges. Do you remember any one challenge that has given you tough time, but you, with your own understanding and wisdom, you overcome that challenge?
There are many challenges. Yes, naturally, day to day we face many challenges when it comes to relationship with the parents. Sometimes now, for example, here in Kuwait, we are in a society where there are multilingual, multicultural people. They come, multinationalities. We have around 40 nationalities in my school. So there are so many challenges, and challenges come in the form of organizing some activities also. We are an Indian school in Kuwait, but we have so many nationalities. So, we wanted to organize a function, and that was a concept of my own. I thought that in this society, we should present the image of India to the people of Kuwait. So in 2014, we decided to organize a function which was related to Republic Day celebration. So that was a grand function, and what we had in mind that we would be representing all the states of India. We would be giving them places, and India is a diversified country. So much diversity is there in India. Yes. So to bring whole of India into a small campus of a school, it was a big challenge for us. The budget was a big challenge. To organize the activity was a big challenge. To bring those things to India, to Kuwait, was a big challenge for us. But then, we had a meeting. We met the people belonging to different states. We organized meetings with them, with their associations, those who are registered with the Indian embassy. And when we presented our idea, they were all very happy. And finally, the budget also was a big issue. It was a big challenge because naturally the school cannot spend around 15 to 20,000 KD, which is a big amount for a small function. But it was not a small function. It was a very big function. And we wanted to have a big crowd to come to school to see India, at one campus. And believe me that, all the states were well represented in one campus. And it was liked by each and everyone. The ambassador of India at that time, he had put the remarks that he had never seen such a Republic Day function at one place in a school. So that was a big challenge, but we could do it because the whole team worked together. They understood the concept and they did it well. So that was really a big challenge, but we did it.
Great. This happened in India International School or Salmiya School when you?
This happened in Salmiya Indian Model School.
Okay.
That was in 2014.
Yeah, that's really great. That's really good. It's quite difficult, especially in Kuwait. I can understand because there you will find the things very difficult to find the Indian objects, Indian costume, Indian materials.
Not only that, sometimes like for example, Haryana. To make Haryana, it was a big challenge to bring a hookah. To have it because hookah is in the culture of Haryana. Yeah. And those things, and like even from southern states, many things. Okay, here Kerala is very easy because there are so many Keralites. There are so many Tamilians, but especially to represent the northern states, it was really difficult, like Rajasthan, Haryana, and Jammu Kashmir. Yes. It was a bit difficult, but we could do it.
Okay, congratulations for that. So, Mr. Anis, when you do something in life, There are people who appreciate you. There are people who always motivate you. But you will find there are some people who will always criticize you, and they will not find any good in your initiatives. So when you face such type of people, how do you deal with them?
Yeah, I think, if in life there is no criticism, then you will not grow. This is, my personal opinion. And one should accept the criticism positively. Just have patience. Don't lose your patience when you are facing criticism. Just have patience and listen to your criticism very patiently, and then try to do introspection. And once you do that, I'm sure, many times we find that the criticism, has given us strength also, and we come stronger out of criticism. But we should take it positively. That is what I usually do. And at that time, I try my best to keep calm and listen to them and then do introspection.
Thank you very much for sharing your insight about criticism, how to deal with it. Really, we have to maintain our patience and we have to remain cool, and then we have to think over it, reflect upon the criticism, because at times the people who are critic to us, they give us lots of margdarshak. We can say that they give us the way or direction that where we have to move and where we have to stop going or stop moving. So thank you very much. Now, if we measure your leadership role or your leadership journey, so how will you grade that? Like, how do you think that how much you are satisfied with your leadership journey?
I think, to measure your own, achievement, or to measure your own role, I feel it should not be measured by oneself, but it should be measured by others. But still, I feel that, today, wherever I am and whatever I'm doing or whatever I could accomplish, it's only because of the hard work, and I could do it. I think because I have reached here from a very humble background, from starting as a TGT and then reaching the post of director, and be there. I'll tell you just one example. When I was leaving the government job, from Delhi and joining private sector, it's a very, difficult decision. It's a very difficult decision. Leaving the government, very secure job, and coming to private sector where there is no security. But I feel there is only one security, and that is the best security, and that is your hard work. If you know your work, if you understand your work, and if you can do it, you can perform it, then I think nobody is going to throw you out. And the private sector, especially, they want those people who can work, who can give more than 100%. And that is what I feel, that because I could give 100% wherever I worked, that's why today, wherever I am, I'm there because of that only. So I think others should measure what I have done.
Very true, very true. That your biggest security is your own hard work. Yes. And it is said that a bird who is sitting on a branch is not fearful, because not of the strength of the branch that is not going to break, but because the faith in her own wings, that she can fly anytime whenever there is anything happening. So that's what Dr. Anis Ahmad believes in himself. And Anis Ahmad, you have many ways of motivating your team members. I have experienced one, but before I explain that what I have experienced under you when you were working in Hamdard as vice principal and I was a fresher and I was a teacher over there, before I explain my own experience, I would like to know from you that what is your mantra of motivating the team members?
I think again, it is, by following whatever rules you set, for the house. First of all, you have to begin with yourself. You have to follow the rule yourself. I always try to be punctual wherever I have to be. If I tell the teachers that you have to be in the school by 7:10 or 7:15, I would be there before them. So that is one thing. And that is because I have seen that. I have seen that in my role model, as I mentioned in the beginning, that my role model was Colonel C.V.K. Asra. So I have seen him, and I still today I follow him. And again, it is a very really sometimes it is very challenging task to motivate your team, to inspire your team. It is really very challenging. I know, especially in this materialistic world, it has become very difficult. But still, I think it is not. You can still do it by talking to them, by communicating with them, and then by following those things, the tradition that you set for the school, for your people, for your team. If you follow them yourself first, then I'm sure they will get motivated.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing the way you motivate your team members. But I have an experience. You send the secret messages also to them by appreciation message. And one of the message I still remember when we shifted the hostel. You know, we were supposed to shift the hostel overnight, and there was some shuffling in the hostel. And once
Oh,
we
that
did
was
it,
a tough job.
yes,
That was a very
yes.
tough job.
Then you send the secret appreciation to all the members who were involved in that. That I still remember. That was your style of motivating the people, and that was really great. That worked, because before that we didn't receive a single line from anyone that we are doing something for the school or we are doing something for the organization.
Haleema, I still feel, that decision and then doing that, was the toughest, thing, that decision taken, and that was done during my stay of Hamdard for 2 years. That was very tough decision.
Yes, yes. But thank you very much. Thank you. You are really a great motivator, I know, and your team is always under your eyes and under your wings, like a hen. You know, you keeps everybody under your wings. That's your style. Thank you very much for sharing. Now, you know, when the people work in a team, there are different types of people, different mindset, different style of working. So it is quite natural that there are sometimes conflicts in the team members. So how do you resolve those conflicts?
Dr. Haleema, I take it that way, that if there is no conflict, there will not be any growth. But the conflict, the differences, have to be used for the development, to understand the differences and to understand which one is better. Suppose, on ideas itself, there can be conflict, there can be different opinions. When there are people, so they will have different opinions, but then we have to understand, we have to listen to each member very carefully. Then we have to, find out the points of disagreement and then prioritize, sit together, listen to them and listen to the points of, differences, and then prioritize and then work out on that. I think that is the best way, sitting together, working together and listening to each and everyone. That helps in, and then prioritize, and then we can surely sort out, those conflicts. It works, especially listening and talking, that works.
So it is like listing the disagreements to agree, and that's going to help us. Yes,
that's right.
Thank you. So Dr. Ahmas Sahab, how do you acknowledge the achievements of your team members? Because you are so humble, you are so kind. When I asked you about your own achievements, so you are not very open to your achievements. So how do you acknowledge the achievements of your team members then?
Yes, of course. Sometimes, when it is a very famous saying that you must appreciate in public, and and then you must scold in private. If you have to do that also, though it's not a good thing, but sometimes we do have to do that, but that should be done in private. But appreciation should always be done in public. So usually, we talk about, I do attend assemblies in the morning, and if I find, during the week, something has happened, so I would openly go and appreciate that. If it is an appreciation of a child or appreciation of a teacher, it should be done in public, and then maybe towards the end or whenever. I'll just narrate one story to you, again from my role model principal, Colonel C.V. Kesra. It was in 1983. There was an inspection in the school from the Secretary of the Defense, Ministry of Defense. And, when secretary comes, you can imagine, a very high profile officer, and we had to do so many things. He had given us a lot of work, and I was very young at that time. I was just 22 years old, just started my career as a teacher. But we did our work. The principal was satisfied. Then during that time itself, I had to go to Jamnagar, Fort Pirotan Island. I took some children. In my absence, the principal sent an appreciation letter to my home. Wow. And that was received by my wife.
Great.
See, he could have waited, but no, he didn't wait. He didn't wait for me because I was out of the town. I had taken children to some other place, but he sent that appreciation letter, and that letter is a memento for me. So that is how we have to appreciate, and that really works, that appreciation when you appreciate your team members. I still remember that why he did that. And, the whole letter was typed, But in the end, one line was handwritten.
Oh, that personal touch is there.
That personal touch, yes. So I think that really works.
Yeah, so nice, so nice. It is so touching, It's a very emotional way of dealing with the team members' achievement and acknowledging them. Yes.
And then when you appreciate people, then giving them more responsibility, because who will be given responsibility? Those who are really responsible people. So giving them extra work, giving them assignment, and they feel, yes, the leader trusts us. And then they get motivated and they work.
Yeah, so nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. So Dr. Anisa Ahmad Sahab, your life has seen so many ups and downs, so many challenges. At times you are very strict, at times you are very soft, at times you are very loving, at times you are very caring. So if you have to categorize your leadership style, so which style suits you the most?
Actually, there are many leadership styles, but in my role, there are two very dominant factors. One is, though one has to be task oriented, but I think I'm more of relationship oriented. And that is one which is very dominant in my style, in my way of working. And another is which is prominent, that is delegatory. I delegate my own powers to my team members, and then I do nothing. They do everything, and I enjoy.
Without realizing that they are doing for you, but they think that they are doing for themselves.
Yes. So I think that delegatory style is, more for me. And they also enjoy, they work, and they do everything actually. And I just keep an eye and give my full support to them. And that is the way how I have created an environment in my school, which is a family environment. A person comes to SIMS, that he doesn't want to leave SIMS.
That's really great, great, great. And at this moment, I remember one sentence or one dialogue spoken by Mr. Ashok in Indian High School, Dubai. So there was a time when in everything Indian high school children used to win all the matches, all the cultural programs and other things. So once I met him, because I was also there in UAE. So naturally, at one place, we also feel that our school should be like that. Our school children should also participate and win like their children are winning. So I asked him, I said, what do you do that your children are always among the winners, either first, second, third, first, second, third in everything? So he just told me one sentence that I don't do anything. They do everything. I just clap for them. I just appreciate.
That's right.
That's very true. That's very true. If you delegate the task, give them the authority, give them the power, give them the freedom of doing, and then you just observe them. You just watch, and then afterwards they will bring laurels for you.
I also tell one thing, which is a quote in my office. Also, you can see that in my office. It's always there. I carry that, and I'm carrying that from my Scenic school time. When I went to Scenic school on the very first day in the staff room, there was a quotation. That quotation was, very, in bold letter, it was written, "The ship is more than the crew. You don't have to like the captain in order to obey him."
Oh, yes.
So what is important? It is the institution. It is the school that is more important, and the people are not important. They come and they go, but the institution lives.
It's important, yes. Thank you very much, Anisa Ahmad. It was really very interesting talking to you, and I like getting enriched by your experience. Now, before we conclude this session, let me just request you to kindly give your message to all fellow leaders.
I think the only simple message is that lead by example. If whatever you are saying, you're saying and you're doing, there should not be any difference. There's sayings and doings should be the same. And, whatever you say, you do it, you follow it, and lead by example. That is the only way to lead in the perfect way.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anisa Ahmad Sahab. Lead by the example that you have proved, you have shown throughout your life. First, you have done, and then only you have asked the people, you have delegated the people to do. And JAHAN-E is grateful. JAHAN-E is wishing you all the best for all your future endeavors. May God bless you always. And thank you very much for being with us. It was really very enriching talking to you, having you here in this program. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity.